been able to do these past 4 years?
Well, I mean, he puts in just a tremendous amount of work. You know, when I think about Dylan, the first thing I think about is work ethic. And during this pandemic, you know, where a lot of guys kind of could slough off, he's outside doing 1,000 jump ropes a day. He just upped his routine and committed himself to being physically in better shape.
And so, did you know growing up he was always this special?
From the very start. I tell you what, as much as I gave him and introduced him to like sports, as much as he took, and he played baseball, basketball, and football up until he was almost a teen, and then we focused on basketball.
So he's broken the record, the all-time scoring record. What did that mean to you as his father?
Well, it just means the consistency that he brought to the table. I mean, when Yasha met him as an 8th grader and then had him as a freshman, after their first game, he introduced him to the team and he said, "We've got the best freshman in Sonoma County and maybe beyond." So it was evident then what he was doing.
So, okay, so now he's a senior and they're undefeated. They're going into this game, but then looking beyond high school, what are your expectations, if they can be tempered, for college and beyond?
Well, I mean, because this year has been so difficult for D1 recruiting, he hasn't been able to see any coaches live. Very likely what we'll end up doing is getting him into a prep school on the East Coast. And the goal there, because he's still young, he's 17 right now, and he routinely plays against guys a full year older than him or 2. And it's a routine thing on the East Coast and in the Midwest to do a prep school, get another year under your belt, get a little stronger, and so that's the plan. Unless something surprising happens to us.
Right. So when you take a look at his style of play, I think what separates, well, there's a lot of things that separate Dylan from everybody, but the one thing is the ability to make these crazy tough shots over multiple defenders, get through double, triple teams. How exactly has he been able to kind of up his game to the next level? Because I've seen him make these shots that you just go, at that age, at 17 years old, you shouldn't be able to make those types of shots.
Yeah. Well, that's been in the works for years because, I mean, he's been, going back to like 7th, 8th grade CYO, he was face guarded and double teamed the length of the court. He's used to that by now. I mean, where we live, it's a little, outside of the athletic mainstream. And so people have been able to focus on him for years. So that's just what he's used to.
And so what, in terms of you've talked to him, what is his expectations for where he wants to go basketball-wise?
Oh, he wants to play D1 sports. I mean, he wants to play D1 basketball. He fully expects that after this next year he'll be recruited, and that'll be, he was recruited by Cornell, UC Davis, Sac State, all of these programs. He wants to go and be a part of that. So that's what he wants.
So is there, if there would be one dream school, what would it be?
I'd say UC Davis or Cornell. They both have great ag programs. He wants to come back and be a viticultural, manage vineyards back here. And so actually Cornell has the best program in the country, and UC Davis is right there.
Well, there you go. Well, hey, he's in the best part of the country to get into the wine industry,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Zach Heyman, thank you so much for stopping by with us. Really appreciate it, and we're really happy to see where Dylan has progressed, and he's definitely left an impression on all of us.
Thanks very much, Matt. I appreciate your time.
All right. We'll be back right after this.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Welcome to this broadcast of Healdsburg High School basketball, where tonight the season finale hits with the Greyhounds taking on the Cardinal Newman. I am Matt Fowler. Alongside me, joining me for a few minutes is the chair of the media department, John Chevalier. And John, we've been able to broadcast these games, and just want to have you on for a minute to just, thank you and talk about how impressive this whole setup has been so that everybody can watch from home.
Yeah, no, this has been really awesome. And you know what, the credit, thank you for the credit and the accolades and stuff, but the credit really goes to our superintendent and our principal for supporting this. They called me at the beginning of April, and we put this together. This was not on our cards, but COVID was raging, and this gave us some time to get some people in here who can't be in here. And it's been good for a lot of folks.
Absolutely, and with everything, and then these teams are undefeated. John, I know you're a media guy. You're not so much of a sports guy, but this should be a good game, though.
Hey. Yes, 2 undefeated teams, and our top scorer ever at center, Dylan. So here we go.
Absolutely. We'll get you the Cardinal starters momentarily, as Healdsburg will have their hands full with this one as Heyman misses the first shot. And back come the Cardinal, and that's something that we don't hear very often, that Healdsburg will have their hands full, because they've been able to pretty much routinely dispatch of their opponents.
Yes, this season has been preparing them for this game right here.
And that says more about their excellence than the quality of opponents, because they played some tough teams.
Yep.
Under no good. Second chance opportunity, and the first bucket of the game is put in by Caporo, as we get just over a minute gone by. See, Heyman will have McDonald to go to. Instead, he shoots that three and scramble on the floor for it, and Caporo will bring it up for the Cardinal. And we saw when Heyman broke the record, he missed his first few shots because maybe that was on his mind a little bit, so he should definitely get going. I'm sure on senior night a little bit of jitters, but we talked to his dad before the game, and this should be a special moment, special game for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
That three-point shot goes down for Zeke Grund. So 5-0 deficit early. And one thing John, the Cardinal have done is been able to keep Healdsburg on the perimeter. They haven't been able to go inside and dominate as they're used to.
Yeah, fast-moving, very aggressive team.
Heyman. He's got 2 men on him. Ends up finding Summer. He'll take a three, and just a little bit rushed on that one. Didn't have enough time on the shot clock. So Healdsburg in an unfamiliar position early on. So Grund will run point. 2-point shot. Heyman come back with it, wait for some reinforcements. Summer with Grund on him. He thought about that three instead. Vogensen, it's been the duo of Vogensen and Heyman that has really wreaked havoc on all opponents this year. Hubble, Heyman, trying to get it to McDonald, can't do it. He's got 8 to shoot, plenty of time. At 4, at 2, and they're not going to get a shot off. That's really good defense for the first couple of possessions, as Healdsburg still the only down by 5, so we'll see what happens as the defense needs to stiffen up on both ends. Just over 3 gone by. I'm going to go out on a limb, John, and say this is the longest Healdsburg has gone without scoring this year.
Oh, absolutely. We're halfway through. Yeah, we're halfway through the first quarter. This doesn't happen.
Son Benali gives Cardinal a 7-point advantage, 7-0. And can Heyman get the first bucket? And he is rejected but fouled. He'll get himself to the line. So that'll give us a chance to reset. So Zeke Grun, Sam Klein, Ethan Kelly, Son Nanali, and Nolan Caparo for the Cardinal. And for the Greyhounds, the usual Chase Summer, Max Hubble, Grant McDonald, Dylan Heyman, and Vogensen round out the starters for Yasha. And so Heyman gets the first 2 points for the Greyhounds. Oh, offensive rebound, though. That's something that Healdsburg's going to need to work on. Offensive rebounding is something that the Cardinal are very astute with. 4 gone by, 7-2 early. Up under, nice defense, and that'll be a foul. So John, with producing these games, we have free throws on this end. What is the most difficult aspect of producing these games?
Actually, the hardest thing as far as the games go is just the fact that we don't have a permanent home here. So we have to set up and tear down before every game, so there's a little troubleshooting. But you know what? We've got a great crew of about 8 students who have been handling it.
And it's been a tremendous setup as Heyman gets it out front. But it's been very fun. It's been very well produced, by the way. There's been minimal, issues, which in high school is almost unheard of. Heyman, that's great defense, but great hustle by Heyman to get the rebound, scramble on the ground, and bodies flying everywhere. Ends up in the hands of Cardinal Newman.
You know, they just rolled up the wrestling mats from outside.
I was going to say,
just moved them in here.
I was going to say the sport is basketball. I didn't know that football was still in session, but it is with all the sports going on with COVID.
it is,
but pun intended.
No, as of a week ago, we had we had every
sport.
We had every sport. We had every sport going all at the same time.
Well, that's an interesting challenge, to say the least.
Let's just say our athletic director
has a hands full.
Is going to be glad to see this year end.
Well, I think as a world, we're happy to see. Well, we're already out of 2020, but we're happy to see the extension of 2020. And
yeah,
let's
absolutely.
Just say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 4 offensive chances for Cardinal Newman, and they can't get it done. And ball ricochet, somebody got fouled, and indeed Chase Summer will get hacked. So, John, well, let's say we'll keep you for the final 152 here and then let you go produce the game. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for having me on and acknowledging, what the kids are doing here. And, one good thing that's going to come out of COVID, I think we're going to keep this up next year. We're going to look at live streaming several sports, not just basketball. So.
Well, you get an A+ from me.
Well, thanks. And, Matt, thank you for coming in here at the pinch like a day before first game and broadcasting for us. It's been awesome working with you. And I think all the students would say the same.
Well, I appreciate that, John. Now, we've known each other for about 10 years. I was in your class. And I can be a little annoying sometimes, but thanks for putting up with me.
Sometimes? Did you say sometimes?
Oh, okay. All right. Family show, John. Family show. Healdsburg has scored 2 points in 7 minutes, and they're only down by 5. How's that possible?
Well, they haven't gotten the hoops, but they've definitely
played some good defense.
Done some good defense.
Yeah.
They've definitely held them at the line.
Well, if you would have told me that
So.
Healdsburg was going to score 2 points in the first quarter, nearly at the end of the first quarter, and asked me what the score would be, I would say not good if they're playing an undefeated team. But they're only down by 5, and they'll probably get a chance for the final shot. It's nice defensive play there, and Heyman couldn't quite get it as it squirted out of his hand. Good defense, though. Heyman
Look at that.
never giving up on the play, and now Cardinal Newman can hold for one. They should, and it looks like they will. So at 10, at 8, Kelly with it. At 5, Kelly drives in, and what's the call? And that's going to be a blocking foul, looks like. Or did they say offensive foul? I believe they did. They said offensive foul. So Healdsburg will get the last shot with 3.7. Heyman, 1 second to work with. Half court, almost. So at the end of the first, I never thought I'd ever say this. Healdsburg has 2 points, but they're only down by 5, and the score is 7-2.
Whoa.
So that's the way the first quarter ends. We'll take a break and be back right after this. John, thanks for stopping with us.
All right, thanks.
This is an appreciation of everybody that's made all this happen. So, Chris, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
And so I just told John, if you would have told me that Healdsburg was only going to score 2 points in the first quarter but then only be down by 5, I would have said you're crazy, but that's indeed what we have.
Yeah, it seems that the refs are not making a lot of calls, and they're just kind of letting them play, and Dylan Heyman has got people hanging all over him. So hopefully they can catch up with the contact that's happening.
Well, in high school, it's kind of a mixed bag sometimes. That's the polite thing to say.
Absolutely.
So just can you talk a little bit about just what it's been like during COVID times in the school year for you as superintendent, but for the students, and how have we gotten to this point where we're almost out of this thing?
It has been excruciating. It has been a journey through it. We have experienced, especially in California, constantly changing guidance from the state and the county, what we can and can't do. It is just awesome to have kids out here playing, and I know they are so excited to be able to be at school and participate in sports again. This is a huge game. We'd have 1,000 people in our main gym if this was normal times. But
well, absolutely, and it's going to be a good game. I know that much. As Heyman tries to get it going, and a little bit of a miscommunication on that one. And we just from an athletic program standpoint, we had Dylan Heyman's dad on for the pregame show. And what can you say about the community coming together when it comes to somebody like Dylan? I mean, he's really brought this whole community together.
These kids have actually been playing together since 3rd grade, and my boys were playing with them. And so it has been so awesome to watch them grow up, watch them all develop, and then Dylan just excel in basketball. So absolutely it's about the community. And shout out to Coach Matt Vogensen, who is their youth coach. He's over there keeping the book for us now. And Yasha, of course, has done a great job with them here at the high school. Also want to give a shout out to Deb and Ken Lefew, Sebi's grandparents, watching in Pennsylvania right now.
Yeah, I've been told out around town that this being able to stream these games and being able to broadcast them has really just opened it up, especially during COVID times, because everybody wants to be a little more safe and a little bit more isolated, and it's provided entertainment for everybody around the country, for extended families and everyone. So it's really great that we are able to do it.
Absolutely, and when we have restrictions tonight on who can get in because of a lot of people wanting to, it's nice to be able to say we've got it webcast so they can watch it.
Absolutely, and we've played. I mean, there's there's a lot to be discussed in terms of the school aspect, but we've played nearly 10 minutes of basketball, and there's been 9 points scored in total.
It's incredible. It's just a gritty defensive game right now, and I hope things open up a little bit and we can get some more balls in the basket.
And both of these teams are undefeated, which is the other crazy thing. I mean, it'd be one thing if both these teams had a bunch of losses, and then you would maybe expect the lack of scoring, but not in this case. So this has just been a great defensive performance as Heyman tries to drive, layup. Can he get the bounce? No, but unable to save it to the Cardinal.
Yeah,
So,
Capurro missed that rebound there.
So in terms of getting out of this COVID situation, do you expect, I mean, I guess federal and local guidelines permitting, as Heyman finally gets the bucket to go, do you expect to be relatively quote-unquote back to normal by next year?
Yeah, so far the state has given us indications that we should be, in terms of school, back to normal. There's a possibility we'll be masked still, but not with all the social distancing guidelines and temperature checks and half the kids in class and out and that kind of thing. So I am happy to announce to anybody watching, we're done with Zoom when it comes to school.
Well, you know, at the time that the pandemic started, as the Hounds come down here on a potential fast break, Vogensen, yes.
Nice move by Vogensen inside there. Good job, Gav.
I was, when the pandemic started, I was in Minnesota doing radio and television, and a lot of the kids initially liked the Zoom because, you know, they didn't have to go to school.
Yeah.
But it got old pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it was fun for them for about 10 days, and then it just got old extremely quickly.
I wonder how many of the kids are going to, I mean, everybody enjoys summer vacation, but this is going to be a little bit different because they were out of school for so long.
Absolutely. I think, you know, California's basically announced June 15th COVID is over. For whatever that means, I'm not quite sure, but the idea that we're going to have restrictions lifted, school's out, it's going to be a real summer and people can do things again together.
Absolutely. Well,
getting a little sloppy there.
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's just amazing that we have 13 points scored almost halfway through the second quarter, and it's a close game. I mean, how can it not be close? But still, at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be a grinder. I imagine we're going to be in low 30s at the end here.
Yeah. And with Healdsburg constantly scoring 60 and 70, that's a stark comparison.
Absolutely.
So 13 on the shot clock, and just defense. There's not really much else you can say. I have a good command of the English language, but this is stumping me. I'm running out of superlatives.
Well, hopefully Heyman's bucket earlier got the cover off the basket, and we can start getting some more in here.
Vogensen, Gavin, free throw line jumper.
Good look.
And
all right.
So, see, Graham McDonald, and it's the trio of Vogensen, Heyman, and McDonald. McDonald can't be stopped on the inside. He was just double teamed there by two very tall Newman players and just inhaled the rebound.
Yeah. That's a nice looking shot. Oh.
Vogensen tracks it down. And this is very early to say this, but I think the last team, as LeFew couldn't quite keep the pivot foot in balance, the last team to have the ball, I think, is the one that's going to win at this point.
The way it's going,
yeah,
that's probably not going to be too far off.
So for you as superintendent, what would you say the most challenging aspect of when this whole thing started? Because we really didn't have a playbook for any of this.
No, we have literally built the plane in the air and then rebuilt it 3 or 4 times as guidance changed, as approaches to instruction and teaching changed. So it's been a grind the last 16 months or so. We've had an amazing group here in Healdsburg of educators who've worked together in the best interest of our kids. I'll say the hardest part has been watching the kids just so badly wanting to get back to normal and not being able to. That has been tough, and there's been a lot of, for lack of a better term, damage done to the kids, trauma that they've gone through, whether it's through isolation, learning loss, lack of opportunities. And so, again, it is amazing to be in the place we're in today and have kids back in school and be in a gym watching a basketball game.
Absolutely. As Vogensen, tough shot, but the Hounds will get another chance. The next question I was going to ask is, what direct feedback have you heard from the kids?
About being back, they love it. They are excited to be in class. They don't like the days when they're doing Zoom. They would like to be here every day. That's the feedback we get consistently. And, most of the teachers are ready for that too. So school's out here in 9 days, and we have graduation. And like I said, we're really looking forward to being back to normal here in the fall.
I've been talking to some of the media kids as we've gone through the season here, and they've asked me some questions about colleges and things like that, and they can't believe that you get about 5 weeks off for winter break in college.
Yeah.
As that one is jammed home, and that's a ferocious jam. First bucket in about 5 minutes by either team. Nice give and
dish.
Go. And to the line, Bogenson. And yeah, it's been definitely a learning experience. And obviously, when you're in high school, there's a lot of things going on in your life, and you're trying to figure out all these things. And then you throw in COVID, and you're right. I mean, there's a lot of trauma that's caused by isolation and not being able to see your friends. And everybody always says, at the time, high school is very tough with all the social pressures and everything. But then when they get out of high school and they look back, everybody misses it. So it's unfortunate that the kids have had to go through this, but it seems like they're taking it as well as they possibly can.
Yeah, they're taking it in stride and, reacting as best they can. I think there were some times this winter in particular where the seniors especially kind of lost hope for the future, weren't sure what was going to happen, what college might look like for them, and whether college was going to happen or not.
Job market as well.
Job market as well. And so it has been an interesting couple months to watch it open up and see some joy back in kids' eyes, and that is a big bucket by Heyman there.
Heyman finally gets the crowd up and gives the Hounds a 1-point lead. And
I have some personal friends who moved from New Orleans and talked about how similar kind of thing encountered by kids who were in high school during Katrina, where everything was just shut down and they kind of were devastated and lost out on a year or so of education and opportunity. And, all of them, I don't know that they're better for it, but they develop character through it and are more resilient as a result. And so I'm confident that's going to happen for our kids too.
Capurro lifted the pivot foot on that one. And yeah, it's just, it never ceases to amaze me, especially in small communities, how in the darkest of times, everybody can come together and rise up and just, help each other out with whatever they may need. And this community certainly has done that.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I will be the first to say, since I'm part of it, the Hounds basketball community, again, Heyman on 3. The Hounds basketball community with the parents and the kids who have grown up together playing, they have banded together throughout it, and it's just wonderful to have a group and a network around your boy who's on a team, and they love each other and they hold each other up.
Getting the rebound, Sam Klein, second chance opportunity, and there's life, and then there's sports, and people, I don't think sometimes give sports enough credit in the sense that we have all this stuff that we're dealing with, and sports is a welcome. It's a welcome distraction, but it also is just so important for a small community, and you're right. We would have 1,000 people in the regular gym. But as it is, this is as packed as we can get it, and everybody is just so excited to watch basketball.
Absolutely, it brings people together, and I know there's people online watching right now that feel a part of it too.
So, Chris, we'll keep you here for the next 53 and change till we get to halftime. And Dylan, speaking of putting teams coming together, he's putting them on his back, as he always does. As Healdsburg has somehow got a 3-point lead, which feels like a 20-point lead right now with the way that the defense has been. And Dylan gets the bucket to go around.
That's an impressive drive right there.
Defenders, yes. So we'll get a timeout.
Mokaram is letting the refs know how much physical contact's happening and not being called.
Well, I don't think we'll start to see technical fouls
not anytime soon.
No, But I can imagine it's frustrating with the amount of physical contact with lack of calls. But at the same time, it's a 5-point game, and both teams are getting the same treatment.
They are. It is always amazing after a game to see Dylan, Heyman, or Graham McDonald a day or two later and see their arms just bruised beyond belief and realize they only got to the line 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, you take a look at the stats and you go, what exactly happened there?
Yeah.
And now that we're streaming these games, Yasha can have video to, you can send this to the league office.
Can start some online video assessment of the refs.
Yeah. I always say I'm not the ones in the striped shirt, so.
Exactly. It's not an easy job.
A fun little fact as we tick under 15 remaining. Former history teacher Tony Fry actually reffed Michael Jordan in the All-Star game.
You're kidding. I didn't know that. He worked here at Healdsburg and was football coach for a long time, and I didn't know he reffed against Jordan, or ref for Jordan.
He did, as Nick Kelly gets a good omen for the Cardinals that makes the score 15-13 as we end. We'll get that corrected on the scoreboard there. But 15-13, and Healdsburg definitely has their hands full, which is something we have not said this whole year.
No, the only team that maybe pushed us was Marin Catholic, and this is a score we'd normally see in the first quarter.
There you go. Well, Chris Van Den Heuvel, thank you so much for joining me, and just thank you so much for allowing us to do this and putting everything together, and we hope it all works out and the Hounds get a win tonight.
Yeah, and thank you for being on this and for the team for filming it. It has been a huge service to our community and the basketball team and people around the country, frankly, so thank you.
Hounds lead 15-13. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, as it looks like Dylan Heyman is going to have to do all the scoring as he has 12 of the 15. I'm here with Andrea Ruiz. She teaches Spanish at the high school and also helps out with making sure everybody gets in the door and adheres to all COVID restrictions. Andrea, how you doing?
Definitely, really good. It's an exciting game tonight.
It is. As, senior night, it's appropriate that everybody's been talking about Dylan Heyman, and he's breaking the record, and he has 80% of the points thus far. And what have you seen this game so far? I mean, you've been at all these games. You've had a pretty good seat. So what's your thoughts on the teams?
Totally. Well, first of all, I think of Dylan Heyman as a freshman in my Spanish 1 class. So it's kind of funny seeing him out here. 4 years later, just doing awesome. I mean, that last game against, Marin Catholic was really exciting to watch. So if they can bring that kind of level tonight, I feel like they have a chance.
Well, they always have a chance, and I was alluding to that they've taken care of their opponents by this time in previous games.
Yeah, for sure.
It has not been competitive in the second half. Let's just be frank about it. As 3-point shot, in and out. Nice offensive rebound, though, by Caparo, and he gets hacked. And there wasn't a lot of fouls that were called, even though there should have been a lot of fouls that were called in the first half. But
Chase is upset.
we are not in the striped shirt, so we will not have too much criticism about that. But it definitely on both ends has been, I will say, called evenly because there's been virtually no fouls.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Nice defensive play.
Nice, Evie.
And Heyman gets it to Hubble, who gets it over to Vogensen. And Newman's defense has just been incredible.
Those guys are solid. They also look like they're my age, just saying.
Well,
Don't they look old?
I was going to say, you don't look old. Way to hamstring the broadcaster there. I mean, come on. 3-point shot. That goes down for Ethan Kelly to give Cardinal Newman a 1-point lead. And this is going to be, Andrea, one of those last team that has the ball is going to win, I think.
Totally. Whoever can hang in there.
Yeah. As Graham McDonald will go to the line, chance to give the Hounds lead. Yeah, you do not look old, and I know we don't have the camera, but I would pan over, and no, you don't look old.
Well, I'm saying they could be in their late 20s, maybe 30.
Exactly, but don't.
Some of these guys.
Well, but they're not though.
It's true. It's true. Nice, Graham.
So back to basketball-related matters. I want to
Here we are.
get people calling the switchboard.
As long as they don't need help with their Spanish homework tonight.
You know what? I took Spanish, and I have to say, just from an educational standpoint, is I think that was a lane violation that gave McDonald another free throw.
Oh.
And he can't convert that, but
There
then
you
gets
go.
the offensive rebound, puts it back up,
Oh.
and can't get the third chance opportunity. Back, tough shot, layup, no good. Off of whose foot? And, Dylan Heyman almost gets the steal, but averts the fast break, gets a chance to set the defense. I will say, Spanish is not easy, and those that learn it are they're in a category that I can't figure out, and those that teach it are in an even more difficult category. So,
Well, the whole team right now. Gavin's in my class. Had Stubby last year. Max Hubble's in my class. I think Graham's taking it next year. It's a very smart as well as talented team, not going to lie.
oh, of course. Nice defense. Vogensen able to change that shot.
All right,
And
Stubby.
Heyman comes back with a tied game. Haven't said that a lot in the third quarter. Dylan Heyman
Seriously.
spins, fadeaway jumper, good.
That was awesome.
And that's what he's going to have to do for the next 13 minutes. As every bucket is going to be difficult to figure out where it's going to go because the defense has just been great and evident there as ball goes out of bounds.
They came to play. Ooh.
So we've been just kind of jumping back and forth with different people with the administration and at the school, and just, you know, just like the seniors are appreciated, rightfully so. We want to, you know, show our appreciation for everybody that makes all this happen as Graham gets to the line again, and so we appreciate you joining us. And if you want to stay till for the rest of the half, go ahead. I mean, it's.
Would love to.
It's I mean, everybody's pretty much already here, right?
That's very true.
Yeah. So what's a little bit of background for you, Andrea, as we saw that Graham McDonald does his best Don Nelson impression of the 76 finals with the shot going about 15 feet in the air and then coming back down. But what's give us a little bit of background on you as a teacher.
Yeah, so it's my 4th year at Healdsburg High School. I came in with a large crew of us with Bill Halliday 4 years ago. So, you know, senior night, I'm kind of a senior this year myself. So
right.
Me, Chase, and Dylan, I had those guys my first year and second year, and they were great kids. So, yeah, 4th year here. I love to come to all the games, take tickets, deny people at the door.
Exactly.
I love watching the kids outside of class.
Are you saying that you're like the bouncer of Healdsburg High School?
Totally. Mike and I, we take care of things.
Absolutely. How did that layup not go down as a rebound by Cardinal Newman?
Ugh.
4-point lead, 4 minutes in, and somehow able to get it. And around the perimeter, as I said, both teams, you would have told me Healdsburg was going to score 2 points in the first quarter and now lead.
Insane.
I would have told you you're crazy.
Now, is this the last regular season game for us?
A home game, yes.
Home game, okay.
Nice layup.
Man, it's intense in here.
Kelly cuts the lead to 2.
Go, Gavin.
And is that going to be on the floor, they say, or is that?
On the floor, yeah. Let's rack up some fouls here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, these fouls are by half, not quarter. So I don't think, based on the way the momentum of the game's going, we're going to get into the bonus. But
no. Well, we can hope.
we can hope.
There you go, Gavin.
So Heyman just take it from there.
Very outside.
And can't get that one to go. I think he shot that from Windsor. 3-point shot the other way. No good. Rebound off of Heyman and grabbed by the Cardinal. And amongst 3 defenders, shot up,
wow.
No good, and Heyman inhales it.
Great rebound.
So this is going to come down to it. As Hubble looks inside, tried to find McDonald. Spinning, 2-point shot. Let's call that a pass.
Yeah, I was going to say, passing.
And
no good.
Back are the Cardinal. Thinking about that shot, but thought better of it. And really good perimeter defense from the Greyhounds. .15 on the shot clock. 10, smothering defense. That results, though, in a layup as Ethan Kelly was just able to curl it around 3 defenders to tie the game at 20. So as the seniors graduate, as you said, it's your 4th year, so that must feel a little bit odd, just, you know, kind of seeing the seniors grow
totally.
from freshmen to.
It's my first, it's the first class here that's going through the whole high school. So, you know, it's unfortunate to be on Zoom for most of that, but it's good to see them playing ball and doing their thing.
I was going to say, I talked to Chris last quarter, and I was saying I was in Minnesota pre-pandemic when it first hit, doing radio and television. And as there's a foul called, and it was justifiably a foul, but, you know, Yasha's got to be looking, going, where was that on us?
Totally.
And Dylan Heyman will pick up the foul there, as entering is Sam Vandenheuvel. And, you know, for the first month or so of the pandemic, I think the kids liked it because they didn't have to go to school. But,
Right.
you know, I got old pretty quickly.
Oh, very quickly, especially for us teachers.
And scramble on the ground. And a very, very alert, nice play to call timeout by Nanali. And he does so with 1:31 left, tied at 20. We'll be back right after this. Tied at 20, minute and a half left. Matt Fowler, Andrea Ruiz with you.
Here we go, some defense.
This one, I was going to say winding down. Both teams have 20 points with a minute left in the third.
I mean, that's usually what Dylan's scoring in a game by now, huh?
Exactly, as Lucas Martison gives Newman a 2-point lead. And we got a whole 9 minutes to go, but you got to believe the Hounds do not want to give up their undefeated season on senior night nonetheless.
And not against Newman.
Dylan can't get the tough runner to go, and I haven't said this all year, but he's been bottled up tonight. And he still has nearly all the points, but from a Dylan perspective, he normally scores a lot more than that. Right on cue, there's a steal behind the back, layup good. And Dylan Heyman ties the game, and Newman can hold for one, and it looks like they will do exactly that. Nick Kelly has it as we wind down. Tick to under 10 remaining. At 8, Nunnally thought about it. At 5, at 3, Nunnally fakes. 3-point shot at the buzzer, no good, as Capurro couldn't get that one to go. And Andrea, we're going to go to the fourth quarter, tied at 22.
Oh my gosh.
This is something that we're happy that there's competitive games. I mean, and it's no disrespect to any of the opponents that Healdsburg has played, but they have just handled their opponents very well.
Totally. And 22-22, that's probably the lowest scoring into the fourth quarter we've had.
You know what? I will say that that's accurate because I know it's accurate. I don't even have to look at a stat sheet to
Solid defense.
Yeah. So you said you're from Wisconsin.
I am from Wisconsin.
Not to normally. I figure that's okay. So
that's public.
So you're from Wisconsin. So go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Go Brewers. Go Packers. Go Badgers.
Yeah, you know, when I was in Minnesota, I mean, the Vikings-Packers, yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry, but it's kind of one-sided. I can say that now being in California. I knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to take care of business, but it was more the Gophers. It was the Gophers-Badgers rivalry.
Which was a rival, but when you're a Badger, it wasn't really a rival.
No, but, yeah, I mean, it was – Minnesota,
but it was fun. Yeah.
Minnesota thought that they could win every year.
Totally, the border battle.
Yeah, they couldn't, no. The axe always went over to Wisconsin. But
you know, those are the same colors as Newman versus Healdsburg right now, actually.
You know what? I did that on purpose.
So, go Badgers.
Go Badgers. That looked like a travel, but we're going to say a foul. Anyway, But yes, I will objectively say go Badgers because I never had too much allegiance to any of the Minnesota teams, except for the Timberwolves. I have a connection there.
Oh, interesting.
3-point shot, that goes down for Sam Klein, giving Newman a 3-point advantage. And you're Healdsburg, you look up, it's senior night, and you're down by 3 with 7.5 left. Heyman thought about that three. Chase, it's been really good outside defense for Newman. Chase might have to launch from there. Instead, finds Vandenheuvel. 4 to shoot. They got to do something. Chase has got to put it up. He does. And, oh, in and out.
Oh, close.
Halfway down, how did that not go in?
Ah, we needed it.
Vandenheuvel's not going to be happy with that foul.
No.
Now the whistles are starting to come.
Right, fourth quarter. Here we go on the fouls.
And Healdsburg has 5 team fouls, which is significant now because you get 2 more, and that's a 1-and-1 at the line.
Definitely.
And a nice steal.
Nice.
And then there's a foul on the other end. So
There we go.
Martison got a little bit too aggressive there, and he'll get tasked with the foul. So has Spanish always been your favorite subject?
Yeah, it was growing up, and just kind of kept going and figured I should just keep taking classes and start teaching. So trying to make it the kids' favorite subject. We'll see if that happens.
I think that doesn't have anything to do with you much more that they're just kids.
Totally.
I don't think I did well in Spanish, but it wasn't because of the teacher.
We always appreciate hearing that.
How do you say put back in Spanish?
A putback? Oh my gosh. Put me on the spot here.
No, that's all right. That's exactly what.
Poner, to put.
There you go. 25-24, Heyman giving the Hounds only a 1-point deficit.
I think if I didn't teach Spanish, though, I probably would have been a gym teacher. Maybe music.
Would have been a gym teacher.
I played basketball, volleyball, I played it all.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what position on the, seriously? Someone just took 2 shots to the chops, and
Wow.
and there was no call there. That's a little bit of a selective whistle, I'll say that.
Very.
5 minutes remaining. Heyman stops, pops, 3, no.
Oh, they're not falling right now.
They're not falling. And Healdsburg is 5 minutes away from their first loss on the year. Of course, Newman's undefeated as well.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that. All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, Newman is undefeated, so neither team wants to give up the 0 as in the loss column.
Ooh.
But one team will have to, as that was going to be an easy layup, but the pass wasn't quite there.
The defense was.
Step back 3, no good. Who's got it? It's Chase Summer.
Nice.
4.5 left. Healdsburg down by 3. And quickly, Yasha wants to talk it over, so we'll take a break with 4:21 left. 27-24, Healdsburg down by 3. It's kind of 24 for Healdsburg. They find themselves down by 3. Matt Fowler, Andre Ruiz, Heyman for the tie. No good. Offensive rebound.
Very nice.
And taken away. They haven't been able, as nearly a backcourt violation, haven't been able to get Heyman. By normal standards, they bottled Heyman up.
Right.
As nice defense there. A plethora of Healdsburg defenders converged on that one. And there's a foul there. I thought for a second they may say travel as the referee was about
That's what I thought.
get ready to do the travel signal. And we might have had to have a new headset if that happened.
Bogenson, nice.
But 27-24, 3:45 left. And who's going to step up for Healdsburg? We've seen it all year. What can they do? Heyman somehow gets it up. And McDonald with the rebound. No call on the foul. And there's just no whistles anywhere. And this is unfortunate is the politically correct term.
That would be accurate.
Because there has been so many fouls.
So many fouls.
And of course.
But that one is called.
That one's called.
Oh.
But there's been that type of defense on both ends. So Summer gets called for the foul. And to the line, Ethan Kelly. Ethan and Nick have been very, very good for the Cardinal Newman Cardinal thus far. And there's a little bit of substitution. I don't know, is there like an impromptu timeout? There was never a signal.
Not too sure. Not sure what Yasha has up his sleeve here.
All right. Well, we don't know what that was, but I haven't seen that before.
Small impromptu powwow. Okay.
All right. So this is going to be 2 shots. First one good. And that's, with 3 minutes left, you wouldn't think, 2-possession game, 4 points. You wouldn't think that that's a lot. But in this game, with the defense, I mean.
It's a quarter.
It literally is. And so 5-point lead for the Cardinal. Healdsburg 3 to work with. And this is when, if we can get the bucket, the lid off the bucket, if we can get Dylan Heyman going, we need a Heyman flurry.
Totally.
If you're Healdsburg. He's thinking about it. Stopped. And great defensive play, and that results in a turnover.
Oh, man.
2:45, and if you're Newman, it would be smart to run clock. Let's see if they recognize. Looks like they do, but they are being rather aggressive. 3-point shot, and no good. Rebounded. McDonald wasn't going to let that one go.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the best call on their end.
No. As Heyman somehow able to lay it in.
All right, one possession.
29-26, 2:15 left in the home season for the Greyhounds. As we tick to close to 2 minutes. We need defense if you're Healdsburg. And Ollie thought about that 3. Free throw line. Gets to the rim, layup, no good. How did that not go down? And Dylan's got it. Vogensen thought about it, goes inside, layup, no good, no call. Offensive rebound though, and back out. Dylan's got it with 1:40 left.
Okay.
They're trying to find Dylan. 15 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Hubble's got it up top.
All right, Max.
And Yasha very smart. There wasn't anything going on there, and he wanted to draw something up. With 10 on the shot clock, there's plenty of time, but they need to score on this possession.
Definitely. A 3 would be nice.
A 3 would be nice. And you know that Dylan has always played team ball, always, but he's thinking about it. He knows that they're exactly down by 3. And
definitely.
he will stop and pop if he needs to. Fourth quarter, and it is kind of fitting. Last game of the year.
That's true.
Finally we get a competitive one, and I say that, like I said, it's been fun if you're a Healdsburg fan, because every game hasn't really been competitive because Healdsburg has taken care of business early, but here not so much.
Totally. I don't think we've been this nervous in a while.
7 on the clock. Dylan, 3. No
Oh.
good. Rebounded, and Newman will come back with it. So halfway down and out for Dylan. And you got about 2 possessions left in this game. If you're Healdsburg in regulation, you need to pitch a shutout. Inside layup, no good. Rebounded. And out of bounds. Is that?
Looks like a timeout.
They have possession?
I think we have possession.
What was the? I did not see what the call was. Is there a foul?
It looks like he called timeout. He was close to out of bounds and got kind of backed in that corner.
But there couldn't have been possession on that play. There's no way you do that midair. You don't gain possession and call timeout in midair.
I don't know. It seemed like Sam was kind of trapped in that corner, but it was hard to tell from this angle.
I'm saying that the Newman player,
Oh, I thought Healdsburg. I thought Sam Vanderhoel had it.
maybe, but there was no signal from the referee.
Oh.
He pointed timeout, and I think he pointed to Healdsburg's bench. We can't see from the angle that we're
Then you're right.
broadcasting
We
from.
have no idea.
And so we'll see who has possession. Believe
Exactly.
me, I've broadcasted enough games at the high school and college level to know that normally the broadcasters can figure out who has possession, but sometimes it's just out of your hands.
Oh.
And looks like Healdsburg does have possession.
Okay.
So as I said, 2 possessions usually if you're Healdsburg with a minute left with a 35-second shot clock. Dylan knows it.
Oh, man.
Dylan will go inside. No call,
Oh.
and rebounded, and Newman has it. It would be smart of them that Healdsburg does not have to foul, and yet that's called. That was probably the least amount of contact that I've seen. And Sam Klein will go to the line. And if it seems like both of us are a little bit perplexed, you would be correct. The first one goes down, and now
Now it's 2.
it's a chance where you need either a miss or you need a couple of buckets and a couple of stops. That's missed right there, but then unable to get the rebound. That's a huge, huge miss, and Nunnally is fouled on that one. And that's just very unfortunate if you're Healdsburg. You need to know where the rebounders are. And so we'll see if Nunnally can not quite salt this away, but get it pretty close. And Nunnally misses.
All right.
So 4-point game.
See what they can do. They got to shoot.
Dylan.
Nothing's falling for him tonight.
And nothing is going down as of now for Heyman. But they're in the backcourt. And there's a foul. And so not in the double bonus yet. But we'll see.
One away.
We'll see if Healdsburg can get some luck, because that's what they need at this point. First one is good.
Definitely. Whew.
So 31-26, Healdsburg down by 5. This one makes it down 6. So you need a 3-pointer, and you need some missed free throws or a steal. Vogensen. And there's no call that way, and it's going to result in a missed dunk, which is going to result in another possession for Healdsburg, and that
was a little embarrassing.
well,
That should have been a foul on Gavin.
that's one way to put it. 10 to shoot, and that's going to be a backcourt violation. So an unfortunate end to the season for Healdsburg for the for the home crowd here at Healdsburg High School. But great year.
Totally.
As one loss on the year. I would imagine next road game, the season finale, I would imagine they're not going to take that lightly because they don't want to. They do not want to lose 2 in a row. I can't imagine they would. And is that a technical foul?
Are you really throwing Yasha Mokram? You're giving Yasha Mokram?
That's a little bit, with the way that this has been officiated, I don't know if Yasha has been ejected. I did see the ref point to the locker room or just gesture in that direction.
That is very unlike colleague Yasha Mokram. But upset, understandably.
Why is the referee continuing to talk to him?
I'm not sure.
And he is leaving. And so that is very, or he's not leaving.
Unclear.
That's a very odd and a very unfortunate way to end the season at home. And it looks like maybe they just teed him up and gets to stay in the gym for the next 5.9 seconds. And wait, now there's 3. Okay, so
2 for the technical and 2 for the bonus.
no, I think he gave him 2 technicals in each technical, but then he would be ejected by the basis on the rules. So we're going to have to check that out. And the final score is going to be potentially a 10-point win for Newman. Wow. And that is not indicative of how close the game was.
And they get the ball.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate end. But that will be your final score, 36-26. But Andrea, as unfortunate as this ending was, it was a great season.
Oh,
and,
those guys were great this season for sure.
They should absolutely be proud of everything they've accomplished. And they still have one more game to go. So, well, I want to thank you, Andrea, for joining me. And
thank you.
For everybody with HHS Digital Video, John Chevalier, the whole crew, the student crew, Chris Vandenhavel, and everybody that has made this happen, we want to say thank you. And we will see you next season for more sports at Healdsburg High School.
Go Hounds.